Hey, it says I'm live, folks. Are you ready to do this thing? We're going to blow it up and keep it real. Hey, it's Kurt with Manana Namas. We're going to have a Manana Namas moment right here today. I'm over here working. Got my emails going. I've got an online course that I'm putting together. I've got client work that I am orchestrating and getting done with the members of our team at Manana Namas. And in the midst of all that, I am seeing a lot of comments come through my feeds about Facebook being down. And then when you go and you look, it's Facebook and it's Instagram, and people are losing their minds. And part of this blow it up and keep it real messaging that I do sometimes is like, hey, folks, if you put all of your eggs in one basket, something's gonna go horribly wrong. I just think about, I think it was Clixio that announced that they were shutting down, right? So Clixio is like, oh, we're just not going to do business anymore. There's a ton of people that built a business on that. It's kind of like if you had built your business on Tumblr, right? Tumblr's like, a lot of people go, what's Tumblr, right? So imagine, pardon me, if you had built your whole business around one of those channels. Now, there's a lot of people, a lot of very public, very semi-famous people that use Facebook as a leveraging tool to put out, their Facebook page, their Facebook group, and to build a community and to grow a business out of that community, right? And you can do that. You can absolutely do that. But my message to you is a little bit different than that. It's if you have the ability to grow a community on a specific channel, how come that channel isn't yours? How come you haven't built that community on something that you own, that you're in charge of, that you don't have to worry about someone making an update and it goes down for the day, right? Now, imagine if you were someone that was running one of those 5-day challenges or 7-day challenges. Pedro Adao is a person that does that, right? So Pedro Adao is fairly famous. He's a Christian business person that likes to encourage Christians to get involved in business and grow their businesses. And he runs these live challenges. And most of his challenges, at least they were done on Facebook, right? So Facebook challenges. And so good to see Mr. Panzer Mr. Panzer Dragoon is in the house again. He says it's only temporary. It is only temporary, but unfortunately, these temporary upsets can happen at the most inopportune times. The reason I mentioned Pedro is because I know that Pedro had just started a 3-day challenge that started yesterday, which means today's the second day of his challenge. And how is he going to officiate or run that challenge? This had just happened to a coworker of mine. Do I call them coworkers? Because we're all contractors, right? But this coworker was building her business in Zoom. And then there was a Zoom outage. And she had all of these people coming to this Zoom link, and Zoom wasn't working. And to me, I was like, if you would have embedded that Zoom meeting into a page inside your WordPress website, then that page in your WordPress website would be the link for the meeting, not the Zoom meeting. And I know that some of you are listening right now and you're going, where's Kurt going with this? He sounds crazy. I'm not being crazy. There's a tool called Whereby, whereby.com. And so I could just as easily build a free meeting in whereby.com and embed that meeting into my website so that if Zoom failed to operate, I would have a backup, because the link I was using to gain people's access to that meeting would have been through my own website. Do you see where I'm going with that? So when I say social's down, are you backed up? That's kind of what I mean. It's like, if the website goes down, where is your backup? That's kind of how I should have said that, right? If something goes down, where is your backup? I have certain clients that I work with in the WordPress space. They already have a WordPress website, but they have chosen to put like all of their marketing eggs in the Instagram basket, because people that have leveraged Instagram have gained a lot of followers and have gained a lot of attention. And yes, those tools do have their place and they do work. But my fear for my clients is when they make it the basket. When you put all of the eggs in the basket and that basket belongs to somebody else, you put yourself in a position of being dependent. What I would rather see is people build their own basket, okay? And then those eggs become what used to be the basket. You with me? So you have a Facebook egg, you have an Instagram egg, you have a X.com egg, you have a YouTube egg, but all of it is encompassed in the basket that you own. And so when I say you own it, the reason I talk about WordPress so much is because WordPress is open source and the software is free. You host it, you own it, and you build whatever you want on it, and it's yours, and it's super flexible. And if you are overwhelmed by some of the things that I talk about or other people talk about in website building, there are people like me that can build these things really affordably for you. And so you might go, but Facebook's free, but Instagram's free, but LinkedIn's free. Yes, these are free programs, free platforms that you can participate in, but you don't own them. When someone joins and follows you on LinkedIn, LinkedIn holds that information, holds that user data. When Facebook has someone that follows you, Facebook holds that data. Imagine if they followed you at your own website, right? Imagine if they were funneled to you through the eggs in the basket. So they're funneled to your website through Facebook, through Instagram, through YouTube. They're funneled to your basket, which is your website, in which case your website collects email, address, phone number, date of birth, t-shirt size, the company they work for. I mean, whatever information that you want to gather from these people, you can put into different tools that aggregate that information, and it helps you grow your business and become the marketing value that you need to have for your business. You know, in a lot of cases, a business isn't really valued by a widget they sell or by a course that they market or by the revenue that they generate. In a lot of cases, the business's value is determined by the scope of its community and its ability to outreach. And so if you stop using all of these other platforms as your basket and you turn them into eggs within a basket that you own, you add value to your project, to your endeavor, whatever that is. You know, and there's so many cool tools out there. You don't have to just use WordPress. You could use WordPress, and then you could use a simple tool like Canva to make lead pages that drive people to that. I have some people, not a ton, but I have some people that use a WordPress website just as the tool in the background. The thing that cashes the credit card, the thing that enrolls you in the membership, the thing that sells you a product and has it sent to you, right? So there are people that use that just in the background and then just use third-party lead pages that are easy to generate and hyperlink to the shopping carts in the WordPress sites. There's all kinds of ways to skin this cat and do things. But my thing is, I'm working today and I see everybody freaking out about whether you call it Meta or Facebook and Instagram and Meta and whatever. We knew something was coming. I mean, if you are working anywhere in Facebook at all from a business perspective, you know, you've got that Meta business page that is just confusing as all get out to figure out what you're supposed to do with all these pages. But whenever I go to respond to a Lifter LMS comment or a Mañana No Más comment or an Action Leadership comment, I go into this page and this page starts sending me like Instagram comments and Facebook comments and do I want to buy an ad, and all this stuff is in there. And I really just want to know what the heck was this thinking comment and do I need to respond to it, right? But it's made it more intricate. And so when they say they're going to convert Facebook to Meta, obviously it's for them, it's their platform, they're going to gain some kind of functionality out of it. And so, yeah, it's not unusual to think that it might go down in the upgrade process. Something can happen there. But I love what Mr. Panzer Dragoon says, right? He's just reiterating what I've got going on out of my big fat mouth. And that's This is why you also need to have your own site and host your own content. Your own site is a channel. It can be. And I stress that a lot. Your channel can be. I've got tools in the back of Mañana No Mas that send out email newsletters, that gamify some of the learning. So if someone's taking an online course with Mañana No Mas, they can get extra messaging in there. Sometimes that messaging is intertwined with something on one of our Facebook properties, x.com or LinkedIn properties. And yeah, you can do stuff with the eggs from your basket. But at the end of the day, I own a basket that has those social media channels plugged in as the eggs and not the baskets. So you'll notice today, I don't know if you'll notice today, you probably wouldn't notice, right? Because you're watching from the outside looking in. But today I'm only going out to LinkedIn and YouTube. Why? Because the other channels I've connected to my StreamYard account are all down. But you got to maintain that backup. You have to have more than one channel. You know, if you are adept in LinkedIn at all, you'll know that it's fairly easy to make a connection. Sometimes it's easy to get a meeting from that connection, but you'll see that there's a lot of like newsletters and there's like group pages, business pages. There's things like that that you can have in LinkedIn. And for some reason in LinkedIn, they are incredibly difficult to succeed with in comparison to like a Facebook page or Facebook group. So for some reason, the dynamic in LinkedIn is less sociable than Facebook. And I'm using broad terms here, okay? So I'm going to say it's less sociable. By sociable, I mean the groups and the business pages don't do as well on LinkedIn as they do in Facebook. But that doesn't mean don't have those groups and pages in LinkedIn. No. It only takes a couple minutes. Build them. And then use your tools. If you have a tool that posts to your social, post to that Facebook page, pardon me, and that LinkedIn page simultaneously. Treat that messaging the same, because as Facebook screws the pooch and drops the ball and alienates more people, LinkedIn's going to get more popular. And you want to make sure that you're an early adopter over there, that you have something happening there, that you've got some pre-existing mojo before you need to launch it there. Does that make sense? So when I say social's down, are you backed up? I'm saying build your platforms, build your channels in anticipation of what you're going to need before it becomes an absolute necessity, because by then it's too late. You know, I was an early adopter of a lot of these programs, and I wonder what somebody does, you know, that's just coming in. Like, what do you do when you're 17 years old, about to turn 18, you want to start your own business, you know, making t-shirts, making hats, making websites, whatever, and you're just starting out. I mean, are you leveraging TikTok? Is that where everybody's going to get like big followings? And then even though the numbers are bigger in TikTok or Instagram, do those numbers convert? Do those numbers become real followers, and do they become real tangible sales like they do in the LinkedIn space? And so that to me is one of those obvious questions. You know, would I rather have 10,000 people in LinkedIn, or would I rather have 100,000 people in Instagram? I'll be honest with you, I think I'd rather have the 10,000 people in LinkedIn, to be honest. But here I am. I'm doing it again, right? I'm doing exactly what the video is saying not to do. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't have to choose between the 10,000 in LinkedIn or the 100,000 in Instagram, because if I use my website as my basket, and these are just the eggs inside that basket, I can have all of it. I can have the 10,000 in LinkedIn, and I can have the 100,000 in Instagram, and I can use a common tool to post to those channels. All right, folks, I hope this helps. I hope it helps settle some folks down. And I don't think Facebook is going anywhere. Some people really hit the panic. Like, what if this is it? I don't think there's a this is it moment. It would be kind of funny if Mark Zuckerberg got ticked off and said, I don't want to talk to Congress anymore. I'm just going to turn it off and cash out and put my money in another country and disappear, go live on an island somewhere. He's got enough money. He could do it. Who would stop him? I mean, someone might try and hunt him down or something, but who could stop him? He could just leave. If he wanted to, he could just cash out his chips and leave. You could turn it off. And that would almost be funny. Almost be funny. Folks, that's all I got today. Have yourself a wonderful day. If you have any questions at all about what it looks like to have personal branding, to have your own website, to be able to run your own channels off your own website, just reach out. Just get in touch with me. Not everything has to mean that you're writing a check. Getting information doesn't have to cost money. So if you've got some open-ended questions and you're looking for real answers, feel free to reach out to me. Especially on LinkedIn, you can direct message me. That's not a problem. I get back to people usually within a day or so, and it's important. I've got kids. Each of my kids has their own name as a domain. I have my own name as a domain. I think that's huge, right? Personal branding is important, whether you work for yourself or if you're corporately employed, because corporations don't give a crud about you. You're a number. You're someone that's going to produce. Your efficiency in your production has to do with your longevity. And so when the company loses their purpose for you, you want to have something pre-built, ready to go. And that's why I say having your own site, building your own basket is imperative in this market. So if you need any help with that, want any guidance, if you want to know some resources to build it out yourself, I've got some links I can send to you. If you're like, man, I just want to hire someone to do it, I got the budget, I just want to get it done, by all means, Mañana No Mas is your source. Have yourself a wonderful day. I'll talk to you some other time.